Every professional athlete bets more than they can afford to lose. And so is the truth when it comes to crypto investors. And a lot of investors out there. They really do bet more than they can afford to lose, friends. For example, you know, the average football player, some people call it soccer. They train in one sport, young age, young kid, over and over and over again. They neglect school. They neglect their family, friends, a lot of relationships. Kid can't go to the movies. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of pressure, friends. And then even as you get older, they hit the teenage years. They're basically taking away time from everywhere else. The hours thrown in to just go learn this sport so that maybe you can see where you can land. Yeah, that's hours taken away from learning how to run a business or like fostering a relationship between friends and family, everything else, okay? It's literally a big sacrifice. It's an enormous sacrifice of your time. You can never get that time back, no matter what you do. And it's actually critical time. It's like, you know, early development time as well. So they actually bet more than they can afford to lose, friends. And then when you think about it, of all the professional players, there's like, you know, in a field, maybe there's like 200 people in the pool where all the agents are trying to like, you know, basically bet over them to get them into each team. And there's 200, think about that, friends, 200 people out of like millions who tried, millions. And, you know, I never think about like, you know, Division 4, Division 5 people. They're like, oh, I'm definitely not cut out for this. I'm out. You got it easy there. You're like, oh, well, it's not for me. The ones I feel sorry for are all the guys right under them. They're like right under. Okay, it's not, don't worry about the top 200. Obviously, they're making the millions. They've killed it. Think about rank 201 up to about 10,000. See all this, because, by the way, look at that ratio, by the way. Okay, just think about ratio. 200 people versus the next 10,000. That's like 50 to 1. If it's like in crypto, it's the same thing. It is, okay, 2% of people do really well. The bottom 98% wasting your time. Now, you might say, oh, you're not wasting your time. You learned a skill, right? How to play sport. Or you made friends, and maybe you're semi-professional where they just cover like your traveling. You know, maybe you make a bit to kind of like just survive, and you get to have fun. You live like the little kiddie's dream, running around, playing football, soccer, cricket, whatever it is, okay? But you know, at the end of the day, when you look back, you go, oh, those were the days when you're nobody. Okay, now obviously, friends, this is my myopic view of that, because, you know, they're like, well, I'd rather have done this than go work a cubicle job or just go be a carpenter and never know what would have been possible if I never tried. That's a lot of people how they think about it. But think about your time spent. So you can go think about it. You go, look, bro, and by the way, friends, this is the reality of life. You are sacrificing time. You got one life here that we know of. Could come back. You don't know, but you're not definitely in this time zone. You're going to be somewhere else, a different place, right? Maybe Game Boys just pop up out of nowhere. You can just play any Pokemon game that you want, friends. Maybe you can actually genetically engineer Pokemon themselves to play Game Boy with you. That's so far into the future. But for now, it's time you can't get back, okay? We can't rewind it. It's a cruel reality. And just think about this, friends. People leave with all these sports, sports all around the world, right? They leave with less money, less family relationships, broken dreams, right? Broken just relationships, just, you know, opposite sex as well in terms of loved ones. And then you have the close family ones. And you can't really like start, hey, I'm now 48. You know what I mean? Remember me? It's tough. It is tough. That cruel reality, all right? So you look at it, no matter how you spin it. Well, I thought about this. Okay, wait a minute. Why do we all give crypto a bad time? You bet more than you can afford to lose. Okay, bro, have you actually like walked outside? Friends, you know, by the way, this is the interesting part. We haven't even gotten to real world businesses. We're playing around with Sportland here. 12-year-old kids, 15-year-old kids and stuff. Okay, what about all those businesses out there? There's 95% failure rate for businesses in the first 3 years. Literally 95%. People save up money. They either get loans or get debt, or they save up all this money. That's how slack it is, man. Like, it breaks my heart. You work for someone else in the cubicle job. You save up your cash to go throw in your business that you believe in, and then it's blown over in 3 years. But that's it. That's why in society we respect and revere the successful ones, the unicorns. Okay, so friends, everything in life is betting more than you can afford to lose. Everything. Okay, ain't no one who says, "Wow, I balanced my way to victory." There's none of that. Okay, so this is the undertone we need, though, because now I'm going to throw you in with this, right? You have the global liquidity index for crypto, right? So you bet more than you can afford to lose. If it doesn't work out, it's over. But what if we could learn information to give us conviction to basically just sit on our hands longer? Imagine there was a sport out there where you don't have to go and outrun the other guy. You don't have to go and out backflip that girl or shoot better hoops in the basketball court or hit a more powerful tennis serve. What if there was a game where you just literally throw some pebbles into a bucket and just see what happens? Well, that's literally financial markets. That's why it's the greatest casino game of all time, friends. It's literally the biggest game, friends. So there's global liquidity. That's pretty much our North Star. It's our guiding star. You have Tether's market cap going up. You have global liquidity going up. And you have everything else that's set to follow. And this type of approach to basically playing this sport, it's a financial sport, right? Pretty much the games and playing it like this, friends. You can't appreciate it enough because it really does. It's the great equalizer. It lets poor person and a dirt poor person and the downtrodden of society have a chance. Okay, friends. Obviously, I'll never be black. Okay, and I'll never be 7 feet tall. I've got no chance in the basketball league. Okay, no chance. Some of us as well, we don't have big fat bone structures. We'll never be good in any of the contact sport games. Okay, some people just can't run fast. Right? You see all these. Some people, friends, they're born with rounded elbows. They can't sit in squeaky chairs and talk into a fluffy microphone. A lot of these things we just suck at. And you just got to admit, wow, suck at that, right? None of us can sing, okay? A couple of you can, but millions of us can't. So what about this game, though, of capital allocation? That is the most fascinating game of all because it's a game we can all actually win. Not so fast, though. The problem, though, is it's fighting the crowd. You got to be fighting the crowd. So we can all win, or can we? All of us can win, but when you get to a large amount of size, well, you become the market, okay? So it's always a game like that. But it really is a great equalizer, friends, you know? You also hear this terminology about soccer, right? I've got to say football for my palm friends, okay? Shout out to the trading bastards. Every time I say soccer, you've got to let me know I said soccer. Wow. Sorry, guys, okay? Now, a lot of people respect soccer, football, because they say, well, it equalizes people because there are a lot of like short kings, people like really, really short, and they're like awesome dribblers and they can perform really, really well. And I never thought about that until I started hearing people talk about it here and now. I go, wow, I never thought about that. Like, you know, there's no height advantage or disadvantage that like really needs to consume you, right? You don't have to do like a weight division or a weight class for any of these. But, you know, when it comes to other sports, you don't get this generosity, right? But even though, friends, there are things you're just born with, and they're called like your sport IQ. So a lot of these sports stars, they can't speak very well, but they have like a 3D vision of the game. They're doing things on average 0.1% better than everyone else, like passing a bit better, knowing what to do. And if you've ever played like a competitive sport, friends, where you're playing like Dota or League of Legends, you're just watching, you're like, how are they processing 400,000 things? They know, okay, I've got 18 decisions to make as a tree. I know which one to pick on average. That's best, right? Now we come to markets, though, all right, and we're looking at this global liquidity index, and people always like, they're always intrigued by when I show them these, because yeah, this is your North Star, okay? Because once I show it to you once, remember, I've done all the hard work, I've done all the heavy lifting already, here 18 hours a day, but you just see like, oh wow, line goes up, and guess what? That's the best part, friends. Yes, line goes up. That's the best part. But why does line go up? I wanted to know, friends. I want to know that. Hey, give me that conviction. What is it? They print money. They print money. That's it. They print money. Who's they? Don't worry about them. What's printing? Don't worry about that. You know what money is. That's right. It could be as simple as that. If you always wanted to dive deeper, we know, okay? The central bank balance sheet goes up because they printed more. The supply of it goes up. It goes into the euro dollars, which US denominated bills and stuff, notes outside of US, moves into the collateral, because everything's just expanding in size, like a pyramid. Everything's expanding in size. And now everyone has more supply units. They're able to borrow and lend more. People end up borrowing more. They can go expand stuff. And so that eventually leads into the stonk market bucket, which leads into the high cap, mid cap, small cap bucket of the stonks. And then we eventually go into the ultra degen, ultra risk crypto bucket. Okay. And once you just see that flow chart, You just learn that once. You don't even have to learn it, right? You just have to see that once, but you can learn it. I made all my videos here for you, and you're like, wow, we're mathematically programmed to go up. Friends, there's no sport on earth where you're like mathematically programmed to improve if you just sat on your hands. You know what I mean? That's why it's so tough, because people are like, I want to practice more. I want to do more. That sends you backwards in most markets, because you can't cheat that growth factor that comes in. You know, human geniusnesses, whatever they call that word, human genuinity, efficiency of capital, human capital. I think that's how Ray Dalio summarizes it. It's growing at like 1 or 2% per year. We're getting a bit more efficient every year. Plus, you throw that onto productivity. Plus, you throw that onto the money printer. There you have everything growing every single year. That's growth. And now we can actually bet on it, man, from anywhere. That's the best part about it, right? Access to live. Shout out to Access. Really can be narrowed down to this. Also, we have, Mr. J Plush. Do we have a chart of how many candles, so many lights per day that can overlay on this? I feel like this is a key metric. Oh, we got to get this out, friends. Look at this. It's reminds me of one of the Dark Souls characters. See, now you've seen everything, friends. Everything is really betting more than you can afford to lose. Okay, but which bet? You know, so it's easy. Just do this. Yeah, but which bet you're going to take? Friends, you know, literally, as the US stock market has been booming for the past 6 years, I've been watching videos of people saying any day now, emerging markets, because there's a big basically spread between America and emerging markets. Where I think it's like Brazil and a couple of circle world countries, right? And the spread's eventually going to have to go the other way. But right now, America's been running above trend. They've been running below trend. And everyone has been waiting for this thing to basically turn around. But you do it like, I'm worried about this big conversion. Friends, you know how much they're worried about? Like, it's so poop. It's like, okay, America, instead of growing at, this is your stock market, instead of growing at 9% per year, you're going to go down to 5. And then these guys, instead of growing at like, at 6, they're going to grow up to like 11. Look at garbage growth rates. You're worrying about 3 or 4%. Okay, in crypto, you're literally given 12 times higher. 12 times bigger numbers. And that really is that true number, friends. The altcoin index is growing at 55% per year compounded. 55% per year. By the way, that's slowing down, by the way. Okay, so it used to grow at like 100% per year and 200% per year. That was Bitcoin. Now they're slowing down to 55%. But what a gift, man. What a gift. You see? So now we've done all the homework and research. You get to see, man, betting more than you can afford to lose. Now, obviously, I've got to throw in this part. That's why we do stuff and say stuff like, hey, 90% call, 10% lottery. Avoid cancers like Pump.Fun, okay, which is just literally, it's not meme coins, fans. It's literally swapping attention on a very, very micro scale between scammers and thieves and people with like 15-second attention spans. And there's no real money there, right? You're swapping. One guy, all he's got is a pizza in his pocket, literally just a slice of pizza. Another guy's literally got a matchstick, and another guy's got like, $4. And they're just like, who's going to rob each other, right? The guy with the pizza, he's going to get... That's what pump fun is, okay? When you play the higher game, you're playing people who are like basically taking supply of something scarce off the market and they're holding, okay, because they have that mentality of, I have long-term mentality. And what we know happens long-term, friends, the money printer's working in the background, okay? Every month it's working in the background. By the end of the year, they printed 77% of the money supply extra. So something has grown by 7% more in supply of it. It's 7% less scarce, okay? And they're only paying the workers 3%. So there's a big spread there. What happens to that spread? Well, it ends up in what we're looking at, crypto right now. Where does this ultimately end? Well, friends, at the end of the day, it's whenever they decide to stop that money printer. But I guess we'll figure that out later, right? Like, subscribe, catch you soon.